وأعزائنا المشاهدين نرحب بكم مرة تانية في حلقة جديدة من برنامجكم علاجك في بيتك. ونحب نرحب بدكتور جويس معانا في الاستوديو، أهلا وسهلا بيكي. ونحب نرحب كمان بأخت كيلي، أهلا بيكي معانا. النهاردة دكتور جويس هتكلمينا عن إيه؟
So today we're going to talk about steam inhalation. And we have Kelly here all set up. And because it takes a little while to do our actual treatment, we're going to pray. I'm going to explain it. We're going to start it, and then we'll talk about what it's good for and everything. Is that all right?
أكيد.
So let's pray. Dear gracious God, we thank you again for the opportunity to show the people what easy treatments they can do at home that are very beneficial. We ask that this treatment be a blessing to Kelly and help Naveen and I to be a blessing to her. These things we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
So the first thing I'm going to do, as you can see, our equipment's very simple. We have a basin and we have hot water. So I'm going to put the hot water in here, and the steam from it is going to help Kelly open up her nasal passages. So we're going to add something. We're going to add some oregano, but you can add any essential oil like eucalyptus or mint into the water. And it's smelling good already. So you can lean forward, and we'll just cover your head with a towel. Like this. So you can feel the steam. Now she can adjust herself to get closer to the steam or farther away, whatever is going to be comfortable to her. So the reason for this is to soften the mucous membranes, the upper respiratory tract. It helps with coughing, nasal congestion, sinus headache, anything that has to do with your sinuses, the nasal area, and the throat. Even for bronchitis, it can help loosen the secretion so that they can be coughed out. So how's the steam, Kelly? Is it okay?
It's there. It's good.
It's there. It's good. Okay. When you feel like it's not enough steam, I can add more hot water. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So I know you have a story to tell. I always like your stories, so please share.
أقدر يعني أطمن المشاهدين إنه كانت عندي فكرة فعلا تجربة عملية النهاردة. في الصبح كان في صداع شوية من الجو البارد، وأول شيء جاء على بالنا الستيم، إنه نعمل بس التجربة بالبخار. كانت سهلة قوي وعملية جدا، في أقل من يمكن ربع ساعة كان الصداع تقريبا انتهى. دي كانت حاجة نقدر نقولها فعلا الناس تقدر تجربها، وعملية جدا. سهل نلاقي مية سخنة، موضوع مش محتاج أكتر من مية سخنة ومعنا أي شيء نغطي بيه، وندي فرصة لربنا ان هو يشتغل من خلال الحاجات البسيطة والطبيعية اللي هو خلقها لينا، ازاي نقدر نعمل علاج.
And we're so glad for that, because we needed you here today and we didn't want you to be sick so that you couldn't come. So
أنا كمان سعيدة إنه ربنا استخدم الطريقة العلاجية دي النهاردة معايا، وقدرت أكون موجودة معاكم النهاردة.
So as you said, this is very simple equipment, a very simple thing to do. Now, if somebody has congestive heart failure, which means that the fluid in their lungs is sort of backing up to their heart, and their heart isn't working 100% well, then perhaps this wouldn't be good. Also, if somebody has asthma, it might be uncomfortable. For some asthmatics, it may actually help. You would just have to try and see if they would be okay with this and not feel uncomfortable. But that was another one that you would take with caution.
كنت هسأل حضرتك ايه تاني ممكن ما نعملش فيه التمرين ده او التجربة دي؟ ايه الحاجات اللي ممكن نستبعد النوع ده من العلاجات معهم؟ هل في أمراض معينة ممكن يفضل ما نعملش التدريب ده معهم أو التجربة دي معهم؟
So we also have to be careful with children. We want to make sure they don't get burned. So if we have, for instance, a tea kettle that's on a hot plate or something where it's steaming, we want to make sure they don't get too close. We should stay with them the whole time. In fact, I always like to stay with anybody with a treatment in case they need anything. How are you doing, Kelly? Do we need to add a little water for that?
Add a little more?
Sure. She's asking for a little more water to increase the steam. So again, we don't want to splash on her. So we ask her to go ahead and back up. There we go. Let's try that. So now, Kelly didn't come in with a nasal problem, but it's still beneficial. If a person's living in an area that has very dry air and they get nosebleeds from that, this would help with that too, because it moistens the mucous membranes. And sometimes in some houses they get very dry in the winter, and if you just feel like everything's dry, this can also help moisten the membranes.
طيب عايزين نعرف أكتر عن الطريقة البسيطة دي. هل في أي إعدادات لازم نحضرها لكده، أو أشياء لازم نتأكد من وجودها موجودة فينا أو لا؟ يعني مثلا ضغط الدم العالي أو أشياء زي دي ممكن يكون خطر عليهم إذا البخار بيسخن الراس مرات.
You would have to take into consideration their condition. If it was extremely high, I wouldn't want to do it to them, or I would monitor them very carefully. Now, some of the treatments where they get very warm, with a person with hypertension, I would be extremely careful with that. If it's normal blood pressure, or normal because it's controlled with medication, I think you still are careful, but you still, they have more opportunity to do these things because they're controlled.
تمام.
It's just if it's really high, you just...
طب ايه بالنسبة للناس اللي ممكن يكون عندهم السكر، مرضى السكر، في أي مشكلة إن هم يجربوا معانا التجربة دي؟
The thing with that is that you're concerned about their circulation in their legs, and if they can feel. Usually their face and hands, well, sometimes not the hands, but usually their face they have feeling. So if everything is okay with their face, because this is what's exposed to the heat. So I wouldn't worry too much about a diabetic in that regard then. But I like to stay close to people when they're having a treatment and make sure they're doing okay.
أكيد. يعني ما عندناش بس غير الأطفال هم اللي ممكن نقلق من إن هم يعملوا النوع ده من العلاج، لكن الباقي ما فيش أي مشكلة بالنسبة لمرضى السكر أو مرضى الضغط الدم العالي، أو لو كمان عندهم أي أمراض أخرى زي ما حضرتك ذكرتي في الأول، في مشاكل في القلب، في مشاكل في الدورة الدموية.
Well, even we mentioned before, and maybe someone has seen that program, that people with multiple sclerosis should be very careful with heat. Now, as long as we keep the body cool, it could be that this would help somebody with multiple sclerosis that had congestion or sinus headache or something like that. But again, we would want to be there. Now, this has some cold water in it, and if the person with multiple sclerosis started feeling weak, we would definitely want them to put water on their face and cool themselves down right away.
هل ده آمن بالنسبة للعيون؟ لأنه طول الوقت عينيا بتكون ممكن مقفولة أو مفتوحة بس سخونة عليهم.
Yeah, I would suggest closing the eyes. It's a good idea.
يكون أفضل.
So that's another precaution, is just, careful with the rest of your face. And by the way, we were commenting this morning that it's good for the complexion too. So if you want to make your complexion better and have a steam on it, this is a very inexpensive and not very time-consuming way to do it.
أو سهل علينا كمان نقدر نستخدم أي روايح أو زيوت طبيعية نقدر نحط منها في المية، زعتر أو ممكن نحط كافور أو نعناع لو بنحب حاجة تعمل يعني.
And that actually helps open up the sinuses and also help in the drainage, soften the drainage so they can blow it out.
طيب خلينا نشوف ازاي هننهي الجزء ده من العلاج.
So we'd like to show how you would end this treatment now. So Kelly, how are you doing?
Doing okay.
Okay, do you need to blow your nose?
I do.
That's one thing. So what we'll have you do is we just want you to cool off your face, and you can use this towel to dry it. So you can either splash water on your face, or you can take this towel and just wipe your face.
برحب باخت جويس مره تانية في البرنامج معانا. اهلا بيكي. اهلا بيكي يا كيري بعد ما كنتي ارتحتي ال 30 دقيقه اللي فاتوا في خلال الفاصل، لانه لازم نرتاح 30 دقيقه بعد التريتمنت كل مره. فخلينا نعرف اكتر عن الطريقه اللي قدامنا. دكتور جويس تقدري تشرحي لنا اكتر ايه اللي هنعمله هنا؟
So we have a little more equipment this time. When they're in bed, we want to create a steam chamber. And so how we do this is by using an umbrella. So Kelly, we're going to have you just hang on to this a minute while we get everything adjusted.
Sure.
So this is going to be around her head. And we're going to take a sheet and bring it over the umbrella to create this little chamber. We'll also turn on the kettle and open the lid to have steam. Now, in this situation, we don't have any danger of fire. So we just want to put her, as you can see, she's all tucked in with her little umbrella and her sheet, and so we can just cover her like that. We would never leave her for long. Let's see. We have a bit of a, maybe we can pull this up a little bit. So the important thing is to enclose this area so that the steam can get around her face and she can still breathe it in. You okay in there, Kelly? We can't see you.
Doing good.
Doing good. She gave us the thumbs up. So that's good. All right, so again, we would leave her there for 12-15 minutes, as we did with the basin. And again, it's helping the mucous membranes soften up secretion so that she can cough it up, blow it out, this kind of thing. You can actually, at least for where I am, I can see steam rising out of the sheet. If you want even more steam, you can actually put a piece of plastic over, and the steam would stay more in, so you can adjust it as needed.
ونقدر نستبدل الكاتل ممكن بشيء تاني لو نحط بس إناء فيه مية سخنة، ونقدر نزيد عليه كل ما نحتاج حتى يعني نقلل المخاطر على قد ما نقدر إذا ما كانش فيه الإمكانية لده في البيت.
This seems to be what we have right now, but that's certainly something you could do, and just keep adding hot water and keep creating the steam, and you would have a similar effect. And with children, again, the warning. You don't want them to get too close to that steam. An adult kind of knows how it feels. They're not going to get too close. They're going to move away if it feels too hot. But a child, they're so curious and they would like to touch everything. So
خصوصا الأطفال ما تقدرش تتحكم في حركتهم في أي لحظة ممكن يعملوا أي حركة، فيفضل إنه نستبعد الأسلوب ده من العلاج مع الأطفال. بس برضو إذا يعني في احتياج قوي خلينا نكون حذرين جدا بالمخاطر اللي ممكن تقابلنا في ده.
So many times children get sick, and even with earaches, this is very helpful. And instead of taking an antibiotic, which is probably a problem with a virus and not a bacteria, doing something like the steam, clearing out the nasal passages that are probably causing the ear to ache, is better for them and keeping them from being overexposed to antibiotics when they don't really need it.
تمام. عايزين نعرف اكتر على بما انه الحد دوت مش قادر يتحرك ومربوط في السرير بان هو مستلقي عليه، ايه الحاجات اللي ممكن لازم نستعد بيها عشان يكون عندنا العلاج ده بالطريقة الصحيحة؟
You're right. Some people can't be as helpful, and for them, I would like to be sitting there in front of them, and I would like to watch them while they're having the treatment so that I can see where the steam is in relationship to where their face is, and keep making sure that they are not getting burned and that the steam is close enough that it's doing the purpose of which we wanted the steam for.
تمام. مرة تانية عايزين نعرف ايه المحظورات اللي لازم ناخد بالنا منها الاشخاص لو عندهم اي مرض معين يفضل ما يعملوش التدريب ده او التجربة دي.
As we talked about the other treatment too, with the face over the basin, these people that have trouble with heat, those that have heart disease and high blood pressure, all of those we need to be careful with. And if it's uncontrolled high blood pressure, then of course we would really be cautious. Perhaps speak to the doctor about it first. Anytime we have a question, by the way, we should always check with the person's doctor to see if this treatment would be okay. If it's a healthy person, it's fine. But if there's some illness that maybe they take medication for, or you're just not sure about it, it never hurts to ask. It's better to ask.
طيب خلينا اكتر ندخل بالعمق في المعلومات مع حضرتك ونسأل ايه اللي بيعمله البخار في جسمي، زي ما حضرتك ذكرت لنا قبل الفاصل. حابين كمان نذكر المشاهدين معانا ايه اللي ممكن يساعدنا بيه البخار ويخلصنا من ايه من اجسامنا او يساعد في ايه بالظبط.
We did talk about the fact that the mucous membranes are softened, the secretions are softened, especially when they have bronchitis or something so like a cough or infection in their sinuses. It helps soften that so you can get it out of the body. In fact, at the end, we're going to show how we can actually help the lungs get rid of the secretions by postural drainage. So, but you know, it's again helping them breathe better, and that's mainly what we use this for. When we want to steam the whole body, we have another system that we use, because this is just concentrated around the nasal area around the face. So if we want to treat the whole body with steam, we have another treatment that we would do for the whole body, and that is very beneficial in many ways as well.
ممتاز. يعني ممكن نستعوض عن اي شيء من الادوات اللي احنا بنستخدمها باي شيء ممكن بديل، يعني بدل الشمسيه ممكن احط شيء يقدر يحمل الهواء شويه، يكون في عندي بس مساحه للبخار.
If the idea is to keep it so that the sheet is not exactly on them, that there's a space for the steam to fill. So it's just, most people have access to an umbrella. So I think that's why we chose to do that. But if there's another way to do it, another frame or something, but the concept is that you want an area that the steam can fill, they can breathe in the steam without having the sheet or the blanket, whatever you have, close to them.
تمام. حابين نعرف ازاي هننهي النوع ده من العلاج بعد ما هنخلص، ايه اللي هنعمله علشان يبقى الوضع الصحيح ونكمل بالطريقة الصحيحة.
For this treatment, it depends. If she's had a lot of sweating, we do the same thing, a cool down shower, or if she can't get up to take a shower that cools her down, then we would want to cool down her limbs one at a time, dry it off, put it under the covers so she doesn't get chilled. But in this instance, if she had bronchitis or some lung condition, we would want to do the postural drainage, and actually we could show it right now, shall we?
طب خلينا نشوف
So
ازاي
Kelly,
نقدر نعمل ده.
we're gonna unwrap your tent here,
Okay.
and you see it got quite damp. The sheet got quite damp. And how about you? Did you get quite damp? Let's get this towel. It's still clean. Let's let you get a little bit drier. And what we're going to do is to have her lean over this side of the bed. We're going to put the pillow. Is this damp? This is pretty dry. Pillow here, and we're going to have her. I don't know if that's the right. We're going to have her bend from her hips so that her face and her nasal is lower than her hips. Okay? So if you put your arms like this, we want you really down. And even more to get your body. There you go. So now I'm going to do something called tapotement. I don't want to sit too much on that edge. And what I'm going to do is just clap her back. Where are you? With my cupped hands. Now again, you want to be careful at the kidney area and not do it very hard. And it's basically for the lungs anyway, so I'm going to concentrate where her ribs are. Sorry, she's a little ticklish. Okay, so we'll just... Now we can do this for several minutes. We don't have time to do it for several minutes now. But this is what we would do. We would just cupping, 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 and get those drainages out of her lungs. Does that feel okay? You don't have to do it very hard. It's just basically trying to loosen up what you've softened up so that she can cough it out, or if it will drain out of her nasal passages. That would be good. Again, you want to avoid the kidney area. And you don't want to do too much along the spine either. On either side is better. You know, the lungs are here right under the rib cage. So that's where you're concentrating your tapotement, we call it. Okay, I think you get the idea. Now we're going to get you back in bed. We're going to cut off the steam. There. And give you your pillow back. And you can lie down and rest. And we'll have you rest for 30 minutes and then take a cool down shower.
وبهنا أعزائنا المشاهدين بتنتهي حلقتنا معاكم من برنامجكم علاجك في بيتك. بنتمنى أن تكون حازت إعجابكم وتكونوا عرفتوا قد إيه هي سهلة الطرق اللي ممكن تعملوها في البيت. نتمنى نشوف كمان خطاباتكم عبر الإيميل اللي بيظهر قدامكم على الشاشة، ونشوفكم في حلقات قادمة بإذن الله.